again here, the white 5-5 is the like blocker keeping the pack together, and they are skating again clockwise to rejoin some teammates, destroying the pack, making it unable for the red team to block, or for everybody to block, so that is illegal. There was some slight commotion there. I believe this is a cut. Yep, that is correct. What I saw here is, well, again, looking at apex jump, good. Landing, good. We again have passed all the red skaters already. But this was the reason for my call, the slight toe drag here on the landing foot. Very close. Well, you can make your call. My call in real time was that that's out of bounds. So that was the reason for the cut call, actually. Well, this is quite interesting because, well, this is like being sort of like too technical, but what I would call here is that this nearest white blocker blocking the jammer out. And I believe that skater is also going out of bounds, so technically this would be perhaps a no earned pass situation, but good luck getting those calls like 100% objectively correct in real time. I just saw that, yep, like apex touching out of bounds, what I thought anyway, and it kind of looked like that on the footage. I make the call, you can't really like start thinking about it any further than that, because you will never get any calls made if you start like doubting yourself at every turn. Plenty of time to doubt yourself after the game. One of my favorite pastimes. Slight welcome change of pace, not huge chaos going on every jammer trip through the pack. Yeah, I thought this, again, this initiation by this white skater, I thought it was clockwise. And the impact was that I believe the red jammer went out of bounds here. So that's the reason for my call. The jammer already knew that they don't have to recycle because the blocker went out of bounds. So it would have been a no earned pass situation either way. Starting the second period, I believe. Back into the derby action. Red team having the lead. Quite uneventful jam right there. I'm taking there over with the pack definition, even though it was not like strictly on my turf, so to speak, because I saw that the other inside pack ref was busy enforcing a penalty. That's another situation where you can step in, help out. Saw pass done by white team just before the jammer, original jammer, goes down. You can obviously only complete a star pass legally by being both skaters, the pivot and the jammer, being upright and in bounds. And in play for the pivots. Jammers are never considered like, well, in play. Regarding the engagement zone, they can engage everywhere, but well, they also cannot engage out of play blockers, but jammers can hit jammers everywhere. Jammers can never be out of play, and so on. Jammers can never destroy the pack. Just to name a few of the consequences of their special status. Again, there I thought the red blocker is presenting the back to the white jammer. It's not white jammer going into the back of the red blocker, so I'm doing this subtle signal there that's, yep, not considering a back block there. None called. A lot of stuff going on there. I had to pack. It's, well, a bit confusing. It looks like there might be a pack there, but one of the only red skater there is actually a jammer holding the helmet cover in their hand. So I have the pack. There's one skater in the penalty box, I believe. But yeah, I'm like, because this white pivot was the only white blocker in the front group, and they fall down, so I'm immediately thinking that, do we have a pack, because skaters who are down also not part of the pack definition. But all the rest were already like close enough. I believe well, I was looking at maybe the white pivot like cutting the track, but not clear to me from that glance at least, and maybe not gonna analyze that for the next 15 minutes. Small pile up there, but no fast speed impact, so didn't look very dramatic. And jump is called. Red team gets awarded lead pretty much right away. Some action on the infield. Checking there. No blocker cuts. Blocker cuts are like a thing that, well, they are among the least important things you can be doing, so anytime you don't have anything there to do, you might have bandwidth to look at blocker cuts, but if they are tight jammer situations, those almost always take priority. Almost no pack there. Some funky pack, a very long pack going there, but I think we got the right handle on it. I heard there was a blocker penalty assessed to the back, so I knew when I had 1 white, 3 red that I must have the pack, because I will have the majority. The kind of stuff is really important when defining the pack. Those little shortcuts take like those fractions of a second of your reaction time. So you don't need to like look back and count people or anything. That's way too slow for a fast-paced gameplay. Yeah, red jammer staying in. I'm helping out with the jammer ref. It can be tough for the jammer ref to see, like, directly down on the line whether a jammer is in or out, so IPRs can help with that. There, I was watching the blocker cut situation, but the skater is correctly recycling. This was kind of moderately interesting, maybe. Let's assess. Who do you think is the initiator that hits the red jammer out? If we go all the way back, watch the red jammer. So, who is the initiator? There can only be one assessed initiator hitting a skater out. So there are like two options. Either it's the pivots or it's this other blocker. So clearly pivot is like making the first hits. Is that the one putting the jammer out? They are still not out. But there's this other hits that actually puts the jammer out. In my assessment, it is the latest one to make contact. So even if you think the red jammer might have been going out already from the contact with the pivots, if there's subsequent contacts before going out, that's who I think should be assessed the initiator. So here I would call this white 800. It's a bit confusing because the pivot is 080 and this blocker is 800. Fun for referees to call penalties when teams have numbers like that. But anyway, so this 800 is the initiator. So this re-entry is quite tight, but in my assessment, it doesn't even matter because the initiator is over here and the skater did not have superior position. There was a nowhere and pass situation on the infield with the white jammer. Let's look at that all the way through. Watch the white jammer hit out here, but the initiator also went out. So this re-entry is legal. At least looks that way to me. Their offense approach from the front, but I don't think that was a direction penalty because they took free space and then stopped. So I don't think they initiated a block in the clockwise direction. Some basic back definition communication. I'm sure we are all seeing that kind of situations right away by this point, right? There, one hand out for the red jammer. So did not go out. And I believe they just about passed everybody before going down on their knees, so lead call. I'm fine with the lead call there. Obviously it's for the jammer refs to assess anyway. I'm just helping out with my role in this game. Nodding on the outside. Good communication. Stop pass for white team. Here, there's no pack situation. And white 5-5 like takes mild movements to cause the no pack, but clearly not a destruction in my opinion, because it's subtle enough, close enough for compared to the established pack speed. So yeah, I think that's a good no call. Not nearly every no pack is cause for a destruction penalty. Nor should you be actively like looking for penalties. You should be looking for like that gameplay and anything that disrupts the gameplay too much to cause issues with fairness or safety. So that is where referees might need to interfere and call penalties. A lot of white skaters falling down there, but enough stayed upright, so we have a pack. Sometimes if all blockers of a certain team go down, you might get a no pack even if everybody is really close to each other. Those are usually the hardest. White team nicely saving their points there. But yeah, hardest, there was maybe contact to the back of the white's pivot here, but also mild movement by the pivots, so I could call that like receiver initiated, so not the back block, but also I was in a really bad position to call it anyway because I'm on the front. You don't want to be calling back blocks from the front. There are enough referees on the track, so yeah, so let's look at this. There was obviously block initiated by this blocker here, who is going down as well. And notably, white 5-5 is in front of the jammer when the jammer goes out. So white 5-5 has superior position. And they stayed in play, or they are in play currently. That's what matters. And yeah, the red jammer, I think it's safe to re-enter because the initiator fell down. And I watched it all the way through. I knew that's okay, I'm making this bookmark, especially in situations where the initiator goes down or out clearly. It's really important to like keep track of other skaters who might have had superior position because exactly for this scenario. So a skater like thinks that, okay, they went down, I'm free to re-enter, but actually there's something else going on. So I'm ready with this call right away. I believe the jammer ref was also in the process of calling it, but yeah, it's better to just, if you see a penalty, even if it's for a jammer as a pack ref, just call it instead of like waiting around for somebody else who might call it. Big breaching attempt. Foremost blocker is going out of play there. Might have been like very far, like 40 feet from the pack by that point. But that can easily happen when the whole breach is stretching out. Echoing the call from the outside there. I think the skater already heard it, but just to be sure. Problem with the equipment on white blocker there. It can be good to like direct them off the track to fix the equipment so they don't stay on the track and try to fix their equipment, which might cause a safety hazard.